Namaskar, I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Happy Diwali to all viewers. And just to celebrate uh, the festival of India and the festival of hope, trust, and the enlighten yourself. And today, just we're going to discuss the about the COP26 and the global health as uh, already going on. The meeting is going on the health and all. And uh, as you know, the COP26 health program is a global issue now. And yesterday, our Prime Minister of India, uh, Narendra Bhai Modi, announced the One Earth, One Health, and also assured the meeting 500 uh, billion doses they can prepare just to for the best health for the global. That was appreciated by the all over the different world and all G7 countries and all appreciated also and mentioned in the resolution. So this idea how to go with just for the healthy world as healthy India also and a healthy world also. So we are going to discuss on that, and I'll just read this the SDGs on the how the COP26 is focusing on this COP26 health program. The climate change is resulting in the poorer health outcomes, increasing mortality, and is driver of health inequities. However, health is well placed to be the significant part of the solution. The positive health impact from the stronger climate change action can motivate a stronger global ambition. Health systems which are resilient to climate change can help protect their population from the negative impacts in the short and longer terms. And sustainable low carbon health system can make a substantial contribution to reducing health has chosen as the COP26 science priority area. The COP26 health program has been established to bring stronger health focus and ambition to COP26. The key health priorities of the COP26 include the building the climate resilient health system, developing low carbon sustainable health system, adaptation research for health, the inclusion of health priorities and national determined contributions, raising the voice of the health professionals as advocates for a stronger ambition on climate change. And these are all are the issues. So we'll discuss today on this issue. We have Subodh Kumarji uh, uh, from India and Rakesh Tiwari ji from Canada and Bandana Jigan from the Chicago. So how just you cope with the COP26 by health program? We have to see accordingly just to fight and for the healthy world. So start from the Vandana ji.
सबसे पहले तो छोटी दीपावली की everybody I wish from United States of America to all my brothers and sisters and to all my panelists, happy Deepavali. Let the peace brings and the light and the patakas do come back, I must say that. So we are celebrating with the fervor because when we talk about the COP26, as I already said that, because they are taking up this health as a priority. When we say the climate change, because if you need to have a healthy world, strong world, you need to have a good health of people. So very famous quote of Tiwariji and mine when we say that United Nations did fail on their obligations. So I think that's why these small consensus are coming up to take up these issues. Let this be, because it should have been, because when UN was formed, so the main aim was to bring all these issues time to time basis, bring them up and work on that. So, but that has not happened. So I think this is a time that the Glasgow meeting is going to be very, very important. We saw that like the world came to an halt from 2019 December onwards. We started seeing the impact, but the impact is not yet over, to be honest. When you go to the stores and you see the empty aisles, because the supply chain has been definitely affected, we are seeing the price hike also of the products. It was, if it would not have been pandemic, it would not have happened, that is for sure. So need to have a good, actually a very strong voice for a healthy world, because we see our sisters and brothers, like those who are means like our child future, those who are coming to this world, let this be in Africa and all, some are so malnutrition they don't even have, we talk about one meal, they don't even have a quarter meal of a day. So we don't have a responsibility, we do have a responsibility to make sure that everybody has a food on the table. And when we say food on the table means healthy options, and all these bodies, let this be people from United States of America, Canada, India, and the European world, they have to come together and work on something which goes for, set a goal for the next 10 years. And the goal should be keep an eye on that, what has been accomplished. Thank you so very much.
Just to Sudh Kumar ji, as I was just our Indian Prime Minister stated about the global health and one earth and one solution, and just like that, one sun and one health system should be there, and how just the pandemic, how the fight, India and other countries also, that is also the matter of concern for the good health and proper health and healthy world. So, how do you analyze all the issues? Just I have already um, read out the building the climate resilient health system and developing the low carbon sustainable health system, adaptation research for the health, including the health priorities in the national determined contribution. As earlier, if you see the India part about before 2014, health was not a priority, and budget wise also, and the work wise also in India. Unmute yourself, Subodhi.
The Prime Minister has reiterated his commitment and India's commitment towards the health program, and he's talking about the integrations, because the health issues are across the border, across the country borderline. So this kind of the pandemic we have to fight collectively. It's not like restricted to the one border, and it happened earlier also when the United States of America, and during the Katrina, we decided all these kind of the global warming or this kind of the disaster, it could be fought collectively. Now this recent development about the COVID-19, it affected the whole world, knowingly unknowingly. We became the part of that. For India was not responsible or not on a single country, except the two, the China and the Wuhan Health Organization. These are the two institutions which were the responsible for the COVID-19. So, because of the lack of the Wuhan Health Organization, which is in a very unpredictable the institute, so now we have to put the comprehensive strategic and plan, and we have to take the global initiative. Like each country should share the data related to the biodevelopment, right? And the methane gas, which is he's talking about all these, the originations of the methane. We need to check, we need to control, and we don't put the global efforts. It is not possible to happen. So to make it happen, to to overcome this kind of the problem, we have to take the global initiative. Health is a very important issues, and he is the trying to bring the health is in a core issue, because then all the countries where have the unanimous resolution. Tomorrow, if you bring the population as issues, the the whole world will be divided, because most of the Islamic state, the 57 countries say no population control, because say that the they don't believe in a family planning. But once you talk about the health issues, then the whole globe will be united. So to get the united, to bring them at the one platform, he really gave the visions and the leadership of the global partners. And I think that if you look at the British Prime Minister Boris
Yeah.
Johnson, or any other the head of the state, they accepted these facts, because this is the real challenge before all of us, and we need to do that. And irrespective of the size of the country or the strength of the country, it's like in a Western concept of the developing country or the underdeveloped country, but India put the money on that. Look, all these developing countries were depending on the India. Why? I don't know, understand. They don't want to invest money. They thought that the India is having the largest population. They will put the money. They will find
They can manage well. Yeah.
the manage well.
Yeah.
Canada didn't put the money, invest the money. Australia didn't invest the money.
But Subodh Kumar ji, Canada is a part of the global mission on the methane. That is a very interesting and very promising and very just cooperating to the world family. Just I'm coming to Rakesh Tiwari ji to you, and I welcome Rashmi Rai ji, just a social activist and the analyst from city of Edinburgh and Scotland, where just the meeting is going on the UN climate change. And so she is also actively part on that. And recently, she also made a last day with Prime Minister Modi. So I'll take the all inputs from her. So Rakesh Tiwari ji.
Yes, sir.
So just how just Canada initiated the good move with all the developing countries for the global emission on methane, and as we just discussed yesterday also. So how just you affect this health, or the health priority should be there in the national theme as the already agenda adopted by the Cop26 and UN program.
Well, I'm not here to respond as a Canadian. I'm going to respond as a global citizen, as a human being.
That's
because
nice.
I'm
No
not
problem,
here,
no problem,
and I'm
no
not
problem.
here to.
But you can give input from the Canada
Yes,
as
yes.
you are living in Canada. Yeah.
Yes, I do live in Canada. I did
Yeah.
mention when we were talking about yesterday about the COP that Canada is doing its part. Okay, and that present. Let me say this, just as you ask about it, the current generation, the generation which is living right now, is very much, including my children or other children, younger generation which is living in Canada. They are very much climate conscious, environmental conscious, and that's why the parties such as Green Party, parties such as a National Democratic Party, they are
Yeah.
more conscious towards the environment and climate. So we are all very much aware, and Canada is part
But
because
but 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 not Liberal Party. You are talking only two parties.
well, you're pinching. So let me answer you back. Okay, so we'll
Not
go with that.
pinching. Just you only advocate the
No.
NDP and the Green
I
Party.
did mention because they are pro so much. Their focus is on that.
Okay.
Green
Okay.
Party means Green Party. Okay.
Okay.
In Bharat we do not have such parties. So Canada
Okay.
does provide
No,
that
Greens
party.
Party also in Germany. Yeah.
Well,
You need
it's not
more
Bharat
green.
sector. So
You
let's
need a
not.
green reach. That's the reason you have a green party. We don't need
Okay.
a green.
Yeah. Okay. We have it here. Now let
Yeah.
me come back to my focal and central point. As you can
Please.
see in the chats, I do not know. It is gone on a private chat. It can go on comments too. And I would like to mention this is the most I mentioned earlier to my central and focal point that according to Forbes, this is not made by Rakesh Tiwari, somewhere, my media or anywhere else.
Okay. Okay.
According to the Forbes, which this article was published on 5th of October 2020, 14.5% of the total man-made emissions, beef is far the biggest offender, generating 60 kilogram of the greenhouse gas emissions per kilogram of meat product. That's more than twice the emission of the next most polluting food, lamb. So let me say this. We have to now, I'm surprised, including Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, which is like, of course, in Bharat, when he's going to discuss and talk about it, the cow is the sacred. And I'm going to mention this, that our forefathers, when they said that do not kill, miss, I do not know at that time what their science, what the datas were there or not, but at least I know that their general sense was there: do not kill cow, okay, do not kill beef, okay. There was a reason behind it, and we know now, as I mentioned, this is not created by Rakesh Tiwari somehow, okay. This is that the global where pollution, when we talking about emissions, so this is the main reason, one of the biggest reason is the beef industry when you are cutting the animals and doing such things. Okay, so that is one reason. So we have disturbed the coexistence of the nature on each other. Okay, for our as a human being, as a selfish being, very selfish. And as I mentioned, I want to point out, okay, and I want you to respond towards it. While Prime Minister Modi, he has mentioned about everything else, I'm very sure if such a small tiny creature like me, Rakesh Tiwari, can find that beef industry is hurting the climate and the ozone and emissions. Okay, why?
No, what are you talking
No,
about?
let me say this, and then you go from there. Why not Prime Minister Modi has brought this subject particularly, that this should be the cutting of the cows, cutting of the beef is producing more emissions and is hurting the climate and environment. I was expecting from him. Thank you.
Sir,
Now,
okay, no, whatever you were expecting to a prime minister, that is a different issue. But
Why?
what was the discuss?
Why?
Sir, let me tell you.
Isn't
Just
it
you put the question.
Bharat is a cow praying country, and where we cannot, after hurting a cow, you can kill a person. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Sir, let me answer you. Let me answer you.
I'm mentioning that this should be top of the agenda. I'm mentioning that this should be top of agenda.
See,
why not this can come?
Mr. Tiwari, I have a question.
You are talking about
I
the
have a
beef
question.
industries.
No, I do have. When you mention about the beef, does it mean that you are talking about all the big animals, or you are talking about only about the cow?
You don't cut elephants. You don't cut lion. They will
Actually,
sir. Beef means cow. Beef means bull. Beef means
No, not at all. No beef, no cow only. Okay.
Oh my
I'm
God!
eating the beef. I can
Red
give
meat.
you
In Canada, we don't have
I think it is what he's trying to
We
say.
have cow and we have the bulls.
Pig,
No.
pig.
What he is trying to say, meat
Buffalo.
industry, when we're talking
Don't
about
try
the
to defend
consumption,
unoffendable.
when we're talking about the consumption, because
Consumption
now
of
you are
meat is
talking
different.
about the
Meat is
environment and the
Yes,
consumption.
doesn't mean the
Because
cow.
this is the way to
No,
put
I
it.
just
It is
asked for
not only the cow
clarification,
thing,
Tiwari. I just
because
asked
that
you
has to be brought to the leftist media also to know when they talk about because when we get into this kind of discussion, because the climate change is
Am I wrong here?
definitely
Please correct
getting
me if I'm
affected
wrong
by
here.
this, but they take this very sensitive issue and nobody is open to talk about it. That is what it is.
Vandana ji, am I wrong here bringing this subject? This
No.
issue?
When we talk about the climate change, when you started
No.
talking only about the cow,
Climate changes.
No, I mentioned because this is one of the biggest contributor. That's why I'm saying it. This is the biggest contributor.
Tiwari ji,
Yes.
your question. No, you are mixing three things. One
No,
fact
sir.
is.
One thing I'm mixing. I'm saying that
No, sir. No, you are talking, sir. Please. Just you already placed your views. But
Yeah.
that whatever you mentioned, beef, cow, and meat industries.
No, sir. Beef
All
industry.
three are three things. Please try to understand.
Talking
Sir.
about beef industry, sir. It's
Sir.
mentioning beef.
Sir, beef is not for the cow. Can you send the link for the beef industries?
Oh my God, sir. Then you need to go back and study. Beef means cow. Beef means
Sir, beef
bull.
means buffalo. Beef means
Oh
buffalo
God,
also,
please
sir.
don't go there.
Beef means,
Please don't go there.
beef
It
means
doesn't
all
mean
kind
lamb.
of the
It does
animals
not
which
mean
come
lamb.
under the.
Okay. In India, in Bharat, you do mention when you talk about beef buffalo too. But when we talk about North America and in the Western world, we don't have buffaloes. We have cow.
Beef means buffalo. I am telling you, I can send you all the facts.
Sir, I'm telling you, you come to Canada, you come to USA, find a buffalo, then let me know. You will not find it. You'll cattle industry. It is cow.
Let me tell you, sir. Let me tell you that whatever agenda
beef
in
is the meat from the cattle.
Cattle. What is cattle? Okay, Vandana ji, please tell me.
Right.
Do you have in US buffaloes over there? Means I know the buffalo state is there. I mean the black buffalo which gives the milk. Do you have there? No, I don't have it. I haven't seen in Canada.
No.
I have been 27 years. So we are talking about this. And this is one of the biggest reason of the emissions. And I'm not talking about today's. I came in debate.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't have we have only cows. We
Yes,
don't
you
have
have the
buffaloes.
knowledge.
Yes,
that is for
absolutely.
cattle. You don't see the
You have the
buffalo.
knowledge.
And
It's very high
we
over
have
here.
only the American cows maximum in number. Now some people, they are trying to bring the desi cows and trying to bring, like, and rebreeding them. Yeah,
I
yeah,
rest my case. So please do
yeah.
not. So I was expecting Prime Minister Modi to raise this question on a more frontal basis. It is not even mentioned. It is not even talked about it. Why not?
Sir, let me tell you what. You first read all the agenda. All points has been discussed. Just see the agenda of the
I was not able
COP26,
to
sir.
read this. Can you find it and
Right.
please tell me that about the beef
Sir,
industry?
please. Just to go to the COP26 resolution, you see the resolution. You just find out.
Please.
Just you are not talking about the Canada. I'm not talking about the Canada and India. How the
I didn't
on
talk
the
about
methane,
Canada.
how the
I
methane,
said about the
how the
global
Canada
beef
affected the
industry.
90%
I
of
said
the
global beef
total emission
industry,
of the
sir.
global. But
Sir, I talked about global beef industry. Sir, I
just to
talked
tell
about
me,
global beef industry, sir. I mentioned global beef
sir,
industry.
I'm sending the global beef, whatever Bandana is said, the meat
No,
and
beef,
cattle.
beef. Sir, mention it. Mention it.
Sir, you are talking
Why?
the
Why are
genetics.
you
I'm
afraid to
talking
talk
about
about it?
agriculture.
Only no.
Rasmiji, how
For us,
just
the issue is only in Bharat.
so, just after break I'll come to you. Just a time of break actually.
Brazil is number one. India is.
Yes. What you
We'll
mentioned,
after break.
Brazil is
We'll
number one and Bharat is what? Number two? Well, mention it, sir. I can't see
Yes.
viewer
Number two.
position. Number two, sir. And why not Bharat is tackling it? Is it only for the political reasons?
What?
No, sir. You are misinterpreting the facts actually.
Yeah, I'm talking about with the fact.
Sir, you are misinterpreting the
I'm
facts.
sorry.
I am giving
Am
you
I
facts, sir.
So,
I just I'll
why
mention the
did you
facts.
misinterpret? Why did you
Let me
mention the
take
second? Where did you get this information? Please mention it.
Okay, please, sir. So, Rasmiji, how just whatever one question is the out of the 26 resolution is taking the just A1 and all countries are on. If countries go on the methane, how methane emissions, then anybody can understand where the methane comes from. It is understood.
Yeah, from where it comes from, sir? Where it
Sir,
comes from?
that's we'll
Where it
also
comes
discuss
from?
on
You
the
said
point.
everybody understand. Please acknowledge me. Like let me make.
I teach you from knowledge. Only beef industry. You are talking the total problem is due to beef industry. I'm not advocating the beef industry. Sorry.
No, sir. Sir,
He's trying to corner
major
us
part,
on
No,
the
no,
beef.
no. He didn't
We are
say.
trying to
He
corner
said
him
one
on
of the
methane.
main causes. He said one of the main causes. That should have been brought up.
Vandana ji, he said beef is by far the biggest offender. I'm not saying. Forbes is saying, sir, whom we
because when we talk about emission, we talk about that is what
So that's why that was already interconnected. So I'm coming to Rashmiji, how just to define the whatever the global health issue. Global health issues
please
not
enlighten
only
me.
concern only
emotional and
sir, please, I'll come to you, sir. Just your place your view. Let me ask Rashmiji.
I'm done here.
Rashmiji, how just you define the COP26 and the global health issue? As just how the India has led the COP scene, how the Prime Minister Modi just advocate for the 5 billion doses for the all over the world, and just within 3 and 4 years, how going to the advocate for the global health? Just to tell you about that.
Thank you so much, Rakesh ji, and good evening from Scotland to all the panelists, esteemed panelists over here. It has been really a great pleasure being part of the COP26 and meeting PM Modi ji in Glasgow here last evening. So, firstly, I would like to address on a couple of questions which are coming up. First thing is that the 2050 plan has now been cancelled and it is now moved to the 2070 year for the net zero pledge that Modi ji has done for India. We knew initially in the last call itself in the G20, we got to know that China is not going to participate. However, we got to know now that China is definitely giving up a net zero plan for 2060. Now, very ambitious plans for the third world countries, where India and PM Modi is saying that it is, by 2070, one of the dense populated countries of the world is going on to the net zero emissions. Now, how is that going to be possible? I would definitely touch base upon Rakesh Tiwari when he was talking about that it is meat or beef is definitely contributing towards the carbon dioxide. Yes, it does. We can have so many Netflix and documentaries in the National Geographic where it has been given that it's not only about beef, but it is about the entire meat industry, which contributes towards the carbon dioxide emissions, definitely. But that is one part of it which every country, I mean, what do we say? China people eat everything. They can eat any living creature in this on this earth. UK, US, predominantly non-vegetarian countries. However, I can definitely give you a chance, but I would certainly like to complete myself
Please
first,
carry on. Then
and then
I'll
I
take
can,
the.
you can take your chance. However, I was very patiently listening to everyone.
No, no problem. No problem.
So now, when it comes to only meat industry, no, it is not the only contributor. Because I am also a supply chain consultant, I can say that we are trying as and because and I'm also into the food industry, especially the frozen food industry. And we today at this point of time we are trying to understand how do we optimize the supply chain so that the least amount of carbon dioxide gets into the atmosphere, either by road, by rail, by sea. And we realize that sea is the most cheapest way and the most renewable, I should say, source, not source, but something contributing very less of carbon dioxide towards the, maybe it takes more of time, but then it is very very sensible to move on to these kind of transportation. So this is our food, the basic thing that we need to survive. If we are thinking towards that, how do we lessen it? And a very very realistic example I saw on the Glasgow railway station yesterday, where it was said that if we take one train, we will be saving 500 cars going onto the road. So these are how, minimum steps that we take to control the carbon dioxide. Methane definitely has carbon dioxide, that we are emitting carbon dioxide, but there are so many sources to control it. We can't just say that it is only the meat industry which is polluting. We know that, but none of them is bringing it, highlighting it, because it is a source of, food at the end of the day. For so many people who do not believe in getting into vegan, the concept of vegan is brought out to reduce the meat. The concept of vegan is brought out to reduce the dairy products which are actually harmful for certain people. There are so many arthritis related problems which are coming up. There are so many ailments which are coming up, the autoimmune diseases, where the dairy products are asked to be cut out. So there are so many things which are contributing towards the carbon dioxide. It's not just one thing. And Modi ji especially has, what do we say, in India itself we see that people do eat meat. It's not only just one country but every country, and India is just like, there also people do consume beef, people eat chicken, people eat meat, everything is there. I mean, but few things are hidden. But the way it has been politicized and shown by media, I'm sorry to say, Rakesh ji, but there are certain media channels we see that where things are projected negatively, which shouldn't be the case actually. So these are a couple of things, and the biggest thing that Modi ji has put towards the developed countries at this point of time. Uh, Developed countries, definitely Canada also comes, UK, US, China. These are all developed countries. And there is 500 gigawatts of announcement where he has made that he would certainly need this, because these things are going to contribute for the climate action. So it's the climate funding basically that he has requested, so that developing countries like India can use it, so that the carbon dioxide levels can be cut down. And through this, the GDP of the country will also be increased. I believe by 45%. So, very ambitious plan, but I would certainly say that at least he's taking some actions. And all the developed countries are looking up to him. And I can see that everywhere people are like, what Narendra Modi has, what is PM Narendra Modi's statements. So, these are few things which we really look upon to, and at least he's aspiring to it. We need to contribute as being part of the Indian citizens of, and now we are the NRIs from the country. So simply, criticizing is not going to help us at any point of time. We are educated Indians living outside. We are seeing it. We have to support these kind of activities, because at the end of the day, it is about humanity. It is about humans. It's not about
Yeah,
India. It's not about UK,
yeah,
US, or any world countries. We have to live here.
yeah,
And I know here in Scotland people do love fish, but again there is a control. Now there are talks going on that what should be the consumption of fish, how do we do that,
yeah,
so that the climate actions are in place. So we are
yeah.
working, little
That's
steps we
fine.
are taking towards that. um, yeah, thanks Rakesh. I think I'm okay now.
No, no, no. Just attain, Vandanaji. Just actually now, Rakesh Tiwari is saying the food systems are also the villains of the fight against the climate change, and always about the developing the low carbon sustainable health system is the priority. Top priorities, 5 points by the COP26 UN has adopted. Just globally, the building climate resilient health system, developing low carbon sustainable health system. There is maybe the one, two, three, four, A, B, C, D. That is the highlights. I am just telling you adaptation research for the health, the inclusion of health priorities in the national determined contribution. Country by country, they have the different priorities. Some have the meat problem, some have the carbon problem, some have the methane problem. Everyone are raising the voice of the health professional advocate for stronger ambition on health changes. And as just the detailed program, we can see just the initiatives taken by and the priority of the action in the food and water insecurity, flooding, extreme weather, reduced air quality into the increasing ground level zone, among others. So, Bandanaji, whatever he raised, that's one maybe points, okay. But how should go and how should they? This is the contribution and the resolution for the UN body, the COP26. How to take resolution? We can give the inputs. Okay, this should be done as a journalist, as a writer, as a professional, as a research scholar. So how do you just analyze the just global health? For the global health, what is good or what's bad?
So the will to, we can have policies put on a paper, but the will to make sure that it is
Meeting
being
is going on the
implemented.
last 12th November, the last one. This meeting is going on. So in
Yeah,
between we are
yeah.
discussing. Yeah,
So the will to do it, it is a contribution of everyone. Let's
yeah,
talk from an individual. Like I can see like five of us here. What are we doing it? Because we do see putting and pointing a finger on others is very means easy, but then we talk about the community. Then we talk about like it is individual, then the family, then the community, and then your villages or the cities you live in, then comes the nation, and then the globe, to be honest. So it's not, education is very very important for people to know, like it a simple thing, like when we talked about the Swachh Bharat thing, like, so it will not happen overnight, we all know that. On the first pretext, the media has to be, because there is a fact that one has to admit everything, because when we talk about the zero emission, like so means zero will not happen overnight, low emission. So there has been a technology which has been available for many 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 more years, to be very honest, to have the total electrical cars. But why it has been taken so long a time? Then again, there's a politics does play a role, no matter wherever you are living. So there's a lobby, like from the oil gas companies, the lobby was trying to hold it. I mean, now we are seeing it. But again, comparatively, if you compare the cost of a car, like what we have, like a Tesla, over a normal car, so people, they see like I am paying upfront this cost versus a car cost which is low, so I will be paying gradually. So that has to be taken into account too, that who is going to do it, because the companies, those who are manufacturing, they need to have their own profit. So in US we do have some kind of system that is called subsidy, that if we are buying those kind of cars, so the government or the states do provide some kind of subsidy. We're talking about the solar thing also. And so everything does count. And to, as we discussed, I just said that before also, to have a world for our future generation, because they will not excuse us, what are we leaving for them? So
Yeah.
we do have a lot of environmental experts, those who claim social activists called Greta and gang. So they were talking so all kind of nonsense when it was not to be done. So this is a time that they should be coming and speaking about in the real term what actually they should be doing it, because we have a lot of people working in India too on various different issues. As he mentioned, like when it comes to our festivals, you start talking about pollution, like why it is causing pollutions. So all these things are interlinked. Because but then I
Yeah.
was watching one report from Shivakasi in Tamil Nadu, I think, where
Yeah.
this is a
The
pataka
potters are-
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we do remember as in kids, like we used to be very excited about Diwali. But did the judiciary in India took an account of, before passing out these judgments, that how much is the pollution with these patakas, the percentage of it? But they just went out. They just, okay, it doesn't cost them right anything. So I was like, kind of, I'm just saying, I'm going to conclude with this. I said, I'm going to tell my government to have a Diwali tourism for US. The people should come to India, from India, to come here in US and celebrate Diwali, because this is what Diwali for us is. When we talk about Holi, you start claiming about there is a water wastage and stuff like
Consumer.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Consumer.
so when you are washing these meat,
That was different narratives just
no,
trying to
but
create.
I'm just saying contribution from a
Yeah.
small little. I just started. Individually, we do have a responsibility. So I
Yeah.
should, how I can make a difference. So if we start with this attitude, I think we can achieve any goals. And they have set a target of 2070. This will be able to get in our kitty 2050 itself, if we really want it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So Subodhji, how as Vandana said, every citizen has own responsibility. As Tiwari said, as a global citizen, I am speaking. That's welcome, always welcome. So whatever we can understand the system, whatever we can contribute and how to contribute. So
The Tiwari ji has raised the very good questions which provoked all of us to
yeah,
think about that. He was trying to say something else and we understood him very differently. He's saying that why didn't he mention about that?
yeah,
Tiwari ji, the question is about the beef and this industry. Even during the British period also, and even in the constitution also, Indian constitution, in the directive principle of the state policy, which says that the killing of the draught animals should be stopped, right? But it depends on the state to state government. And in so many states, the cow slaughter is not allowed, right? So India is in a basically the running this one the cow for the dairy industry, not for the producing the meat.
yeah.
Only about the Meghalaya where we get the
And in
basundi.
many parts of India also, this is the illegal activities
No,
now
no,
or
no,
declared.
no, no.
Yeah,
In the Meghalaya, we get the very different kind of the cow called the basundi, and the basundi cow is not for the milk; it's only for the like in the meat. So the fine, and the Brazil also that they have the different varieties of the cow which don't produce the milk.
In
So
Denmark
now
also. In
Denmark
Denmark also.
also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Modi has the put the gun on the developed country also, that you are the also responsible for that. And when he was giving the lectures, he reminded me the Fidel Castro, and he said, American president, you are equally responsible for creating the pollutions in the world, and you have to take the responsibility for that, because who is making the hole in the ozone layer? So the America should also take this responsibility. My question is that his gun is towards the developed country also, and that's the reason he mustered the support from the China also. The Chinese or all the developing countries, they supported them. Now the methane gas and the carbon dioxide, it's a common problem, and we have to meet the globally. This is the biggest challenge before all of us. And this industry, like in a we don't have the biggest problems, like in a about the drought animals. As far as the meat consumptions and the drought animals, in Cuba the cow slaughter is banned. In China, the buffalo slaughter is banned. You cannot slaughter the buffalo in the China because because they are the part of the agriculture. So wherever the animal is a part of the agriculture, agrarian economy, in that agrarian economy, animals play the very crucial role. So there, all the slaughters are banned. In China, you cannot slaughter the buffalo. The reason is their economy depends on the buffalo. They are not ploughing with the bulls and the cow, but they have the different system. I'm talking about the China, not about the Tibet, sir. So my question is that there are varieties of the cow. The developed countries should rethink about that, because the meat consumptions, because they should reduce this one. The lot of things they're related to that.
Yeah.
So he put the gun on the developed country.
Yeah.
Look, behave yourself. Otherwise, if you don't behave nicely, then you are also going to suffer from that. Americans didn't have the guts to put the lockdown, because they knew that if they put the lockdown, people would commit suicide. And Donald Trump would go into the trouble. That's what it happened.
Okay. Tiwari. Unmute yourself. Unmute. Tiwari, unmute yourself, please.
Tiwari ji is a nice.
Please.
Okay, let me mention quickly. And Rashmi is there, and she was trying to defend somehow the food industry and whatever is happening. Let me very quickly go with this. 2.2% of the emission is through the ships. 2.2% of the emission is through the ships and the planes. Okay, 3.3% come through the landfills of the garbage we recently we started it. That's from there. And when we talk about the gas flares, that comes with a 5.3%. Okay, then it comes the forest carbon chopping down the rainforest, that contributes 5.7%. Okay, 5.8% is it comes through WRI cement and aluminum productions. Okay, now let me go to the another one very quickly. I'm going there. And when we talk about the another 8.2%, which comes through the fuel burned in commercial and residential buildings, 8.2%. Okay, we are not talking about the villages. Okay, another comes 11.1% emissions, which comes that comes flight against climate change, according and especially beef, that we are talking about 11.1%. Then we are talking about manufacturing and construction, which goes for 13.3% and 15.5% through. That's the number one is what we are doing with our cars and other driving and other stuff. So when I mention the beef industry, when I pointed out that's the third largest contribution according to the sources. And why I mentioned that Bharat has to take a lead on it, because we are cow worshippers. We are cow worshippers. So we have to go back.
Actually, again, I'm telling you, you're misinterpreting the facts. Tiwari ji, you are misinterpreting. You don't know the rules of the country of the India, that is a Bharat, for your kind.
I'm sorry. Was I born in a
so many states? Like so many states have banned the cow slaughter. For your kind information,
is Bharat is second largest beef meat production?
You are again mixing the facts. Beef and
is
the
it
meat.
True or not?
You are mixing.
After Brazil, is the Bharat is not the second largest beef production.
Tiwari ji, you are mixing the facts.
What?
You have to differentiate the beef and meat. Okay, you can't mix the two things.
How can I mix the two things? How can I mix?
No, you are trying to mix. So factually, this is the factually wrong. Beef and meat, there is in meat all included.
So are you okay? What are you talking about, sir? In a whole world, beef means cow, cow
No, beef
and
does not
bull.
mean cow.
So many
Beef
things.
does
Not
not
the
mean
cow,
cow,
axe,
sir.
bull, all
Yes.
things. Just please read it
Look at
properly.
it, man.
Sir, please read it properly, sir.
Nahin,
Definition.
Tiwari ji,
God.
beef does not mean the cow only.
Yeah,
No, I did
I'll
not
tell
say.
you
Did I
again,
say
again.
cow only? Did I say cow only, sir?
Sir,
Did I
again,
say
I
cow
tell you.
only?
Sir,
No, I said
please
beef.
correct yourself. Please.
Beef means
I'm
ox.
requesting you.
Beef means buffalo. Beef means cow. Am I correct?
Sir,
But in
sir,
the
sir.
whole worldwide, especially in the Western world,
Largely,
largely,
yes.
cow
Largely,
and
yes.
ox,
Beef means
that's
cow.
what is
Beef means
considered.
red meat. Yes, yes.
And
Cow,
then you,
buffalo, bull.
and what
But-
my
but-
point? What
Cow,
is my
buffalo, and bull.
Umar Rakesh, what my singular point? And why are you being so defensive?
Sir, we're
I'm
running
sorry
out
to
of
be
time. We're
aggressive.
only 5 minutes left. I'll take the quick
No.
answer from the Vandana ji and Rasmi ji. Rasmi ji.
No,
You don't even want to
He-
address it. You don't even
No,
take
no,
a responsibility.
I'm only talking about facts.
You'll beat the person. You'll
No,
beat
no.
and
Rakesh
kill the
Tiwari
person.
No, no,
if
your
you
range,
find-
your range
Come
of
on.
no, sir. No, sorry.
No,
your
no,
range
I'm-
of
you're
concern,
wrong, yes, sir.
your range of concern for the 11 point something you raised that not the only India is responsible. Sorry,
Second largest beef producer.
sir.
Is
What
it
you are
not
second,
shameful for us?
but not only India is responsible.
Oh,
but
sir, I'm
We-
not
we don't
saying that
process
we are
beef
all
over here.
coming from that background. Who's going
please
to take
correct
the
yourself.
responsibility?
Beef means not
Okay, okay, sir. But who is going to take the lead? Who's going to take the responsibility?
all,
If when
all
we talk
world,
about
sir.
beef and
United
cow,
Nations.
well, listen to
United
me.
Nations, sir. United
Listen.
Nations resolution.
Kumar
India is a
Rakesh ji,
part
let
of
me
the
say
United
this.
Nations. Okay.
We are all
So you-
born
but you are not talking about Canada.
Kumar
Who
Rakesh
was
ji,
the
we are
largest
all
producer of
born in
methane?
India, Bharat,
80%
and then
methane of the world producing by Canada. You're not talking about Canada. Sir, just try to
What are you
understand.
talking about,
But
sir?
I'm not
What
going
are you
on
talking
that.
about?
This is not a matter of discussion now. I'm talking about the global health. Rasmi ji, how you
You're talking about that global.
the global
I'm talking about global.
how
You're
the
not
global
taking-
health should global health should be strengthened.
Thank you, Rakesh, once again for focusing on the health.
Yeah.
Because our discussion is all around only about meat, I do understand that this
Meat
fact
is only
and
the one
this
part,
hangs.
a single part, sir.
So,
Present.
Rakesh, yes, I do understand. I have been through the documentaries of whatever you're talking about, but I'm also about now. But if we are talking only primarily about PM Narendra Modi, why did not he talk in COP26 about it? Then I would say that there are so many issues around. If he says something, that will become a political issue in India,
Let it be.
and then it will become a global issue around the world. Then it
Let
will be
it
a
be.
political
This is the
issue,
third
and then
largest. This is
things
the
will
third
not
largest.
Main
things
issue
will
should
not
be
Sorry,
distracted.
mention it. Answer me.
1 minute, Rakesh ji.
Yes.
I did listen to you patiently.
Yes.
I would
But please
request
answer
you
me.
kindly listen to me.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
when he is not addressing it, it doesn't mean that these problems are not addressed in India. And as I know that there are a couple of states in India who have already banned cow slaughtering.
I'm very
Now
much aware,
states
Rashmi ji. I'm
like
very much
now
aware of it.
states now states like Kerala, who are predominantly saying that we will go against Modi. Just today I was reading in the news that they are saying that on the COVID vaccination we do not want PM Narendra Modi's picture. What the blunder are you talking about? You are straight away saying that we are disrespecting the PM. Which country in the world disrespects its PM? Is it UK? Is it US? No. So you have to understand that things. India is a developing country with one of the very densely populated
You're
countries in
not
the world.
answering my question, ma'am.
Again, then if you talk about China here, which is completely communist, I have been to China and I have seen they don't even have Google. They have their own Google. They don't like to be part of any other, like what US is doing, what UK is doing. No, they
Yeah,
have their own culture.
you're going all around the place.
They are not. Again, I'm coming to global things. I'm talking on global level. I'm not targeting only one place. And I would request you
I'm
that
living in this global village too.
kindly listen to me, because
Yes,
I
ma'am,
did
I'm
listen
listening very
patiently
well.
to you.
Please, Tiwari ji, please.
You're
Huh?
not
So
answering.
you
You're
have
going
to give
everywhere.
respect. You have to respect what
Would
I'm
you
trying
answer
to,
one single
convey.
thing? Would you please kindly answer one simple thing I asked? I said, and humbly and very calm down, I'll say, Bharat is known for its cow worship, respecting. Kings have given life, people have given life to protect the cows. and this was called.
Sir, you're trying to
Bodhan.
divert the issue or
You
trying to
are
twisting the issue.
Mr.
No,
Sorry,
You
I
know
have-
you are in a
sorry,
I
way
have a-
defending
this
it.
is not
You are
matter
very
of discussion,
defending
sir.
Kumar Rakesh. You are
No.
so defensive beginning today.
Not
Why are you
defensive,
not
sir.
accepting it?
I am so focused and to the
You are
point.
focused.
what we are
Your focus is blaming on others, not
No,
pointing the
blaming,
finger
sir.
on
I'm
ourselves.
talking about global health.
No,
is
naturally,
to blame?
naturally,
We are
I
talking
should.
about who
I-
is your
answer.
two. Your subject is, sir, that what is contributing to the mission. I said
You are talking 0.
contribution.
All issues. You
I'm
are
saying
talking the
Bharat
0.1%.
must take a lead, and you are being so
No,
defensive.
I just want
No,
to
sir.
mention. I
You
just
are being
want to
so
mention.
defensive, sir.
Listen.
I am defensive for my country, for
Your-
my India.
Your
If
defensive
anybody
is
has
hypocritical.
Please.
Hypocritical.
No,
When we
sir,
can
hypocritical.
kill a
Never,
person,
never.
human being,
Sorry.
for a cow,
I am
and we do
restless.
not
I
raise
am going
this
to tell
subject
my-
on the
tell my
global platform.
I'm
Why
not
we do not
hypocrite,
raise
sir.
this platform?
You don't know the facts, sir.
on the global
You
platform?
don't know the
Please
facts,
answer me.
actually. You don't know the facts. You are talking
I'm
in the air.
sorry.
Sir,
These facts which I'm putting on you is the on
Sir,
Forbes,
I-
on CNN.
No,
I-
on global platform.
I have.
And I'm
Listen,
telling
listen.
you, sir, you
No,
don't
listen.
know the facts.
wrong,
Sorry.
wrong.
I have a
wrong.
question
Don't
to.
No.
I have a
You're just
question.
being defensive for the laser.
Rashmiji, you have mentioned about
You are not
I
answering
am
the
defensive for
integrations.
my country, but
You have
also offensive for the
Can
facts.
we hear Rashmi ji right now? Let her finish her this thing,
No,
and
no,
then
no.
we can get into the
No.
discussion mode. Please
Please.
be respectful. We have never been into this kind of, because this is not a Republic
We are
channel
becoming-
and the NDTV. Let's do that,
We are
please.
becoming so defensive when we do
Rakesh
not
ji,
accept the truth.
Brother,
As
please
simple as that.
hold
I'm
on
for
one
the
second.
truth, sir.
Let
I'm
her
always for
speak
truth.
first, please.
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
spoken.
Rashmiji, carry on. Please.
Thank you so much, Vannaji. That was really, really very, very thoughtful of you. So I would certainly like to say yes, on the global health, we do know. And we know that things really I would say that I can just give you examples, but I can't say this is a
So
realistic.
running out of time, Rashmiji, just only one actually want to cross the 7 minutes actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I would just wrap it up that everything is to be done. A very very realistic picture as of now is 2070, which is still we have so much of time, and the way Modi ji is working we might reach to some place definitely, maybe not 100%, but we can reach at least 75%. But again, that is going to happen in collaboration, especially with people with the developed countries. It's not completely on the developing countries. There is a lot of politics involved everywhere. We know that how developed countries are contributing towards the developing countries. Now how things have to move across and within the same political arena of its own country, where Modi ji also have to see so many other aspects internally, how things are going to work out, how are people going to acceptance is the biggest thing in today's crowd as of now, which we feel that no, jhanda uncha rahe hamara. So jhanda uncha rahe hamara, but how? Unless and until you collaborate, jhanda uncha will not go up. You sit in any part of the country, US, UK, Australia, or Canada. At the end of the day, you will only be an Indian. You will be called as an Indian because your roots are Indian. So you have to abide by India, you have to support India, not criticize India.
Hello.
And if there is something that you feel like you can't collaborate, you can't do that, then at least ignore it. Be quiet. Let whatever the people who are contributing, the people who are working towards getting positive aspects in the society, let them work. If it is, I mean,
Rashmiji. Yeah.
Okay,
so
I have
nicely,
to conclude on that because I'm quite a very positive person and I like to be optimistic about things.
Yeah, so nice. Just only 10 seconds. Just Subodhi, if anything, add. Just we're going to just in the program. Actually, we're already 10 minutes late, sir. More than 10 minutes, please.
Okay. First of all, the Prime Minister, he is the putting the angles towards all the developed country. They should take the responsibility, which happened in the earlier also, because India is an equal participant. If you look at the Paris Climate Summit. In Paris Climate Summit, when the Donald Trump, asked that.
Sir, very brief, sir. Very brief. No. Running of time, actually. Please.
And Rashmiji, first of all, when you put the reference with the Kerala and the United States of America, India is a federal country, America is a federal country, And in that federal structures, the so many times the governors oppose the president. So it happens. So it's nothing new. You live in a country which is not a federal by nature.
Okay,
It's
okay,
just
okay.
like in one of the
Thank you.
India's.
Subhaji, it will end. Vandanaji,
Please,
last.
Healthy
Last.
criticism is always good, and we are all nationalistic.
no, it's a
It is
factual. We should
not,
not make
yeah,
a factual mistakes.
because if we want to
I
improve,
just raised the issue about the
sometimes you
factual
don't
mistakes.
see
Please,
it
please,
yourself.
Subhaji.
If somebody is trying to help, we are not the opposition of the Bharat like the party Congress, but we see things better, and that is what we work for. Thank you so very much.
So thank you. So nice of you, all of you, just to participate in the program. Whatever concern is raised, that should be factual, and if that's factual, that should be honored from either from me and either from the anyone. Fact is fact. Truth is always truth. But whatever any facts misinterpreted as I have seen in the Google and the Wikipedia and so many social media friends, how they are trying to misinterpret the facts whatever about the India or any concern. This is also a matter of fact. So we should not run the whatever fact placed on the different source of social media just for advocacy and use for anything. So nice of you just to place the things, and then we're talking the global health and the challenges and the all the discussed now. This the COP26 is ongoing on. The Indian Prime Minister Modi all participated with the presidents of UK, and so you participated. So nice of you. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.